Yo, what is up, friends, foes, and members of the Omni Council? My name's Daimien Kamiya and I am the Omni King, and welcome back to some Genshin Impact. Yeah, sorry, there was a delay there. I had to update, like, Genshin's updating. I guess it's prepping for the banner switch. Yeah, so, while the game's loading in. Yeah, so I just saw the banners for next week, or for phase 2. I don't know how I feel about it. So the banners are obviously Ayaka and Shenhe, and then Mika's on the banners, and then the other two characters are Sucrose and Diona. So 4 out of the 5 options are Cryo, and 2 out of the 3 4-stars are Cryo healers. I'm a bit confused as to why this banner is so cryo heavy. A bit confusing to me. Especially since I still hope for the day where I can get the one cryo healer I actually want. Heaven forbid the day comes where I can get Chi-Chi. Anyways, game loaded in, so we'll do the standard rigmarole here. Let's switch over. Alright, let's get dailies done. Ooh, Sumeru. I have my dailies set to random, so don't always know where they're going. Got it.
Let's just hope the
Oh, and over the past couple days, I should mention, you can see in my banner there, Chongyun and Nahida both ended up hitting rank 10 friendship. So they're both out of my, they're both out of my thingamabob. Yeah, so this is the banner I think I'm going to pull on. In all honesty, I'm not the biggest fan of Ayaka. I know a lot of people like her, but I've used her a few times, and every time I'm not really that impressed. If I'm going to go with a cryo DPS, I'd go Rosaria. I very much enjoy Rosaria. Hey, Romaine! How you doing today?
Tells me that something very interesting is about to happen.
Don't worry about it. There's not really much you could do when the stream was only 30 minutes. I was not happy that my internet was dropping, I'm gonna tell you that. Oh, you're not doing well? What's up?
Don't underestimate me. see about that. Buckle up. Hi.
Oh, your foot is killing you? Yeah. I hurt my foot recently, too. I wonder if it's just the thing going around. Mine still hurts, like, when I, like, kind of, like, crunch it in. Make the foot equivalent of a fist. I think I sprained it from all the walking I do.
Hey, how did we circle back here again?
If it hurts, you could have possibly just sprained it. If you walk a lot, it's very easy to injure parts of your leg. Your legs. I sprained my calf the other day. It's like sometimes it's just simply how you turn, right? You turn the wrong way and you sprain your calf, sprain a muscle. It's just that easy. It took months for my calf to get better. Alright, whoops. One more daily. Where is it? Here it is. Yeah, I'm sure it'll get better. Just make sure not to aggravate it too much. Or did you bang it on something? Like did you bang like kick something by accident or what? Oh, yeah. Well, I would give it a bit first. Because swelling is pretty natural in the foot area. I noticed something during that fight that makes Dehya and Faruzan a really powerful combination with C6 Faruzan. Dehya's skill, when it triggers, could trigger her C6. Effectively granting you swirl on pretty much any character. Like, well, granted, like, her C6 triggers on anyone anyway, but...
Thank you.
Like, the range, though, because, like, the enemy was nowhere near me when it triggered.
Add Astra.
Frustrating, to say the least. Let's just say at work, I have a boss that is... So, I am an assistant manager in retail. I've not hid that fact. I do not say the place I work for, though. But I have worked for the company for 6.5 years. I've been an assistant for almost 4. I know my shit. I know my stuff. I know what I'm doing. I know the rules. I know the regulations. I know the standards. I know all of that. My manager, he's the interim manager right now because the actual manager isn't in at the moment. But he is new to the company entirely. 3 or 4 months in the company. And he is constantly doing dumb things, constantly acting through ignorance, and constantly like disregarding me when I try to remind him of the rules or the standards. And it's infuriating. It's just blatantly infuriating. And this entire week, my DM, the district manager, has been on vacation. So I can't escalate this to him. But he said we'll talk when he gets back. But right now, it's just infuriating dealing with all of this. Okay, so this is the current event going on. I'm only ever pulling off silvers, but I honestly don't care. Okay, so what are the harmonics? Transmission will be triggered after a character takes damage. Transmission will be triggered after a character triggers the Vaporize, Overload, Burning, Burgeon, or Pyro Swirl reactions. So basically any fire-related reactions. The transmission will be triggered after a character takes the field. Okay, so this one is character's elemental damage. Elemental burst damage. Character's crit rate. Oh, I already have an idea here. You. I'll take you. Take you. Where's Bennett? And you. That should work. I'm going to have this entire team go in on elemental damage. I think I'm going to have this team go all in on burst damage. I'm going to get rid of you and put Shinobu in. You can only stay till 1? Or till 10? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know how long I'm going to stream because, you know, obviously I'm playing story, so. Hey, Cherry! All right, harmonics. This one I said I was going to go completely burst. Let me just double check again. What is it? Character takes the field. So I want constant rotation too. All right, let's give this a go. Let's go, Dehya!
Everyone hold hands.
I really should have picked someone other than Bennett, I think.
Get moving! Fracture!
Ouch.
Bring it on!
I have not, but I'm also not that big. I'm not that big into Dragon Ball's, anything Dragon Ball, nor am I that big into, fighting games. So I have, I feel like I have perfectly good reasoning as to why I don't play Dragon Ball.
Everything okay? You asked for it.
Fracture!
Everybody stand back. Buckle up.
Hurts!
You're dead meat.
Oh, beautiful.
Look alive.
So this is what Dehya can actually do when she... I gotta check. What do they have her equipped with? They gave her the health set. I should consider that. And then obviously... Oh, just the bell? Really? He is really weird to build because she needs attack and HP.
I'm going in. Let's get it on. Ha. Cha. Ra.
Confess! Fracture!
Oh. First half done. I don't think I did too well here. So this one's gonna all be about overload.
I got you covered!
Out of my way. This way.
And burst.
Boom. Breath of the flame. Inazuma shines eternal. I'll settle this.
Supporting fire!
There is no escape. Now you shall perish.
I do not. No. Not to say that I'm not interested in anime, but I just, I never get around to it. I've seen Pokemon, Digimon, One Piece, and Naruto. And that's the extent of my anime. And I've not even seen everything. Of any of them. There's seasons of each that I've not seen.
Here's Becca!
Out of my way. Stand with me. Torn to oblivion.
I got you covered!
Dissipate. Lightning. Inazuma shines eternal.
Hi, Earth Eye! Oh, this was a good pick. The Toma raiding combo is too good.
There is no escape.
I thought I was gonna be overusing Yang Fei, but no, it's all Toma and Raiden.
Now you shall perish.
Just stacking that overload.
Shine down. Breath of the flame. Lightning shuriken.
I got you covered. Don't get too close.
Inazuma shines eternal.
I was telling Romaine that my day's not been the greatest. It's been frustrating. Suffice to say, I have a new boss at work that is so new that he doesn't really know what he's doing, and when I, who's been in the field for a while, tries to correct him or tell him the correct way of doing things or teaching him the standards, I get ignored and rebuffed. So, and my district manager, the guy that I'd be able to go to for these problems, is currently on vacation, so I can't actually go to him. Alright, so that's done. Those are done. Let's head to the teapot really quick. I got silver again. Oh, boo-hoo. Harry, you put me into a panic because I had internet issues yesterday. Again, my stream lasted 30 minutes. Alright, let's head to the teapot. So did you guys see the next Genshin banners? Yeah. I've had enough internet issues to get scared when I see that sign. Because in a lot of other streams I've seen... Yeah, so I added Dehya and Fischl to the teapot when Nahida and Chongyan hit cap. Yeah, don't worry. Most times I've seen that symbol used in chat usually means that the streamer's having issues. So that's also why I jumped to that conclusion.
This realm is truly
I need to double check Shenhua because I think the only time I've ever used her was during the story mission. And that's a while ago. That was months ago. I've used Ayaka several times and I'm just simply not... I'm not into it. She's cute, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing about her playstyle that interests me. And, but the thing is that gets me, did you guys see the 4 stars? So we got Mika, and then we also got Sucrose and Diona. So 4 of the 5 characters are cryo, and then out of the 4 stars, 2 of the 4 of them are cryo, or 2 of the 3 of them are cryo healers. That seems like a weird decision. This is bringing me back like 3.0 vibes, where the banner on 3.0 was Zhongli, Tainari, Kale, I think Diona and Fischl, was it? Something like that? All I know is that 4 of the 5 characters were bow users, and I did not like bow at the time. Don't worry, if you ever have any questions, just feel free to throw them in chat. I'll answer them as best I can. I was also annoyed that out of the 3 starting Dendro characters, 2 of them were bow users, and the 3rd was the Traveler. I was actually really annoyed by that decision. They should not have done that. I don't know. I started playing in May. And then I played May to June, took 2 months off, came back in end of August, and have been playing since, so. In all honesty, I didn't even know Sumeru was out when I started playing. You want to know how I discovered Sumeru? You'll laugh at this. So, I had my commissions set to Liyue, right? And the thing with my commissions was that for some reason one of the 4 commissions was not appearing on the map. It just wasn't. It was not appearing on the map at all. So I thought, come on, dude. What happened? I see it. I see the emote spam in my OBS and on my laptop, but I don't see it on YouTube. Did it get taken? It doesn't say message deleted. Did my filter get it? Please try not to emote spam like that, though, Cherry. I don't mind a few emotes, but not like that. But, you know, as I was saying, one of my commissions was not showing up on the map. And, it ended up being one of the staircase missions in the Wangshu Inn. But I ended up discovering almost all of Sumeru within the time. Like, I managed to discover every Dendro statue. Or 7 statue in Sumeru available at the time. Which I think was just the jungle area at the time. Anyways, let's Alright, story time.
Hey, Dehya, you're back. Are these 2 friends of yours?
I trust Dehya with my life.
Oh, so you've already become like one of us then? Well, that's good to know. Anyway, since we've got a newcomer, let me fill you in on what the Khan al-Ahmar's been up to lately. They've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, even their own now have become acceptable targets. They even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary brigade.
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own. It sounds like they've thrown that straight to
Alright, see you later, Cherry. Thanks for dropping by.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other mercenaries, they sell it off to a different brigade, or turn to merchants on the black market. A portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for more food and weaponry to be used in their next violent operation.
That's terrible!
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder why they're so desperate for Mora. A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves as merchants to conduct trade with them. We were able to learn a few things from the exchange. Rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it'd probably be more accurate to say that they're experiencing an internal power struggle.
Wait, a power struggle?
You heard me right. The vast majority of their victims are mercenaries from the other brigades of Deshret's relics. If their only goal was Mora, they could have gone after anybody. The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the different brigades within the relics. That's the only plausible explanation we have. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more specific. It seems they're also trying to keep things under wraps. Oh, one last thing we discovered was that over the past few years, as Dekhan al-Ahmar became more and more active, Deshret's relics as a whole became a lot weaker.
Somehow makes things even more confusing.
Sounds mighty strange to me too.
You have a party at school
Really?
tomorrow?
You
That's
can leave the rest of the
pretty awesome.
investigation to us.
Not gonna lie.
Gotta say though, I didn't expect
I have a
you to
party
go on
after
undercover
work.
mission
It's
during
called
a few
I
days
get
of
to
gone.
not have to see my
Sounds like
manager
you
for
were
2
really
days
putting your necks on the line,
after
huh?
work tomorrow. Technically, it should be tomorrow, but for some reason
We're
he's
just as
working.
concerned about the
It was his
situation
day
as you
off,
are.
but he's working,
Dekhan al-Ahmar is your father's crew after
and I
all.
can't seem to get a break from him.
What he said. Besides, Dehya, haven't you done more dangerous things than all of us combined? What we did is nothing
God, like,
compared to your experience.
I feel suffocated when I work with him.
And while they went to talk with
You
Dekhan
know, he had the
al-Ahmar,
gall.
they took a
So
look at the
this
left
is a
flank
guy
attack.
that it's every time I tell him a
Any
rule,
survivors of the
a
attack
standard,
were
or,
already long gone. There was
or
no
like,
value left in the
you
camp.
know,
Ah,
our
Sean,
compliances and stuff that we
Yeah,
have to
too.
follow for the
He
company.
rushed over as soon as
Every
he saw you
time I
coming
tell
to
him
care
this
about
stuff, he
you.
rebuffs me, he
Although this
rejects
new
me,
friend
he
of yours
turns
looks
me
a little
down,
green behind
all
the
these
ears.
types of stuff. And then he
He's
has
something
the
special
utter
about him.
gall today to tell me
Now you know you'll have a capable partner.
we need
You
to
can also
communicate
assist
more.
him.
You need to, we need to be on the same page. If you don't talk to me about things,
Oh,
then you're not going
you're
to,
also planning to tag along with them?
Of course. Paimon is the
then, we're not going to be a team.
Wherever he goes, Paimon will follow.
The dude doesn't listen to me when I tell him shit,
Then you'd better.
and
take
now
that
he's
to
upset that
Dehya.
I don't tell him anything.
Don't underestimate Paimon.
Well, because I stopped telling him.
don't worry
Like,
about her.
I do tell him the
We'll
important
love
stuff.
Tiny and
If it's
helpless.
something he needs to know as manager,
Just as
he
many
knows.
battles as the
And in the
traffic here.
context, it was
Even if
something
she
that
had
I
all
know
this
I
survival,
told
she'd
him, and he
luck.
just didn't remember I
That
told
alone
him.
would still make her quite
Because he
formidable.
doesn't listen to half of what I say anyway.
I had no idea.
Like,
I
I'm
guess I shouldn't
at my
have
wits'
appearances.
end with this.
Oh, one other thing,
I can't wait till
Dehya.
my DM comes back where I can flat out say I don't trust him, I don't respect him.
We held another recruitment event a few days ago.
He's done nothing to
You weren't
really
around to see
earn
the
my
fight
trust or
name.
respect.
You weren't around at the time, so
And
people were pretty disappointed on
and
the
then the
kind of
final nail in the
rough
coffin
guy.
was when he said, "I'm your
We
manager, I
definitely put a
deserve
lot
your
of effort into
respect."
the event, but it was
The moment he
basically
said that,
nothing. Only a few people chose to stay.
boom.
That-
There goes all the respect he ever had and any
Ah,
hopes
sorry
of
to hear
ever
that.
gaining it back.
I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time.
If you guys ever
Just
hear
don't
that
worry,
phrase
you can make it
in
back
your
in time
in
for
your
the
life,
Gotta admit, I can understand.
I know he knows I stream, but he doesn't know what I do or anything.
Now, if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring
Um,
more smoking hot members into our ranks.
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the brigade? You all just froze up with your mouths gaping like a bunch
But
of
yeah,
scarecrows. The awkward silence
it
and weird
was,
expressions left quite the impression on
um,
them. They were originally interested in joining us, but after that,
yeah. If you ever hear that phrase in life, I'm your boss,
Hey,
I
didn't
deserve
we
your
really
respect,
never bring that
it
up
means
again?
that said person is someone
Wait,
that
are you
has no
serious? Why have
is
I
too
never heard about
pathetic
this?
to be able to
I
gain
don't
gain and
think
earn
you're
your
part of the
respect,
brigade yet.
that they have
Are
to
you kidding
command
me?
for it.
I missed a once in a
And
lifetime
things
moment like that.
never
What are
work
you
out
trying
if
to
you
tell
have to
me?
command respect. Because generally it means you rule through
Tell you
intimidation or
about it
fear.
later. Now's not the time.
And that comes back to bite
Hey,
you at a
don't
point.
Try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything right now.
Are they always like this?
more or less. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. We're used to just speaking our minds. If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. And if that doesn't put an end to it, then you just challenge them to a fight. But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being direct and getting it all out of your system as soon as things come up is better than keeping everything bottled up, never talking about it. That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. If I'm angry, then I'll unload on them. It's hard to stop once you get used to it. Though, I can never do that when I'm with the Homiyanis. Hey, knuckleheads! Can you at least tell me the rest of the intel before you go back to your bickering?
Yeah, you hear her, Holof? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation first.
Your teacher's frustrating? What's your teacher
Right
doing
here,
that's
just
frustrating?
spot. There you'll find the merchant caravan responsible for getting rid of Dakan al-Akhmar's looted goods. All you gotta do is wait and ambush them in the evening. They'll have no idea what hit them.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regards to everyone.
I had my
else
fair
here
share of
as well.
frustrating teachers.
Will do. You
I
stay safe,
once
Dehya.
started taking a class in the resource room because a teacher made me so mad, I felt like I was going to punch her if I saw her again.
This should be the place. Let's find a spot to hide and bide our time. It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another.
I've had a
so
moment
let's all
like
be
that.
careful.
Actually have had a couple moments like that. So the first one happened, I think,
not
in
worried
grade
about that.
8.
What I meant is that we probably
We had a
shouldn't go too
supply
hard on the
teacher,
enemy.
And
After all,
apparently he was
we
known
still
in the
need to get
past as being
information
like a
out of
bad teacher. And I remember me and my friend, like, he was covering for French. So, you know, in Canada, you have to learn French from grades 6 to 9,
come.
mandatorily.
Ready?
Whether
Let's
you're
not
in
give
French
them a chance
immersion
to
or
react
whatever.
and end this quickly.
But what ended up me and my friends, we were working in a group. Like, he didn't really care just as long as the assignment was done. And we were literally sitting in a group talking about the work, discussing, while everyone around us was fucking goofing off, right? Like, some of them were yelling, some of them were shouting, some of them were laughing so loud you thought the glass was gonna break, like the windows. And me and my friends are talking about the work, and I ask a question, like, about the work, and he singles me out, and he goes, "You, be quiet, stop talking." I just look, I'm doing the assignment. He goes, "I don't care, shut up and stop talking." And the thing is, I never had a beef with this guy, because the people that, he was known back in grade 6. So in grade 6, there were 3 grade 6 classes, and he taught the French to 2 of the classes, and my class was taught French by a different teacher. So I never even interacted with this guy. So it's not like he could have had a beef with me or anything. I just don't get it. But then I had another moment, and now this one escalated far beyond what it should have for me. But I had a moment where, Paimon flying on pause. Oh, it's a double Paimon too. But yeah, I had a double moment, where it was in grade 10. No, it was grade 9. Grade 9. Again, so this was another sub. Now, the sub wasn't part of the problem. Another teacher came into the room, I guess, to check on things. Me and my friends, again, were talking about the work. You know, again, while a lot of other people were goofing off. And the teacher comes up to us and he says, "Hey, you guys, stop talking and get back to the work." Get back to work. And I don't know, I just had a moment of smart mouth in me, and I responded back, I don't know, I was given a mouth, I should be able to use it. And then he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go get your vice principal." And he walks out. And then the class gave me a round of applause. I'm not even kidding. One guy heard what I said, and he just started clapping, and everyone else joined in. So that was a proud moment. Then a VP came. It wasn't my VP, and I told him that, so he got my actual VP. And then it kind of escalated a bit beyond that, and ended up spending the night in the hospital. And don't get me wrong, I don't like self-harm or anything. It was my second attempt. All right, see you later, Romaine. It was a second attempt at trying, like, I've never had a good relationship with my dad, and I kind of just made like an unliving comment in an attempt to show the desperation and how much I don't like living with my dad.
Hold the line. Dare to mess with me?
And yeah. They took it seriously, so. Which they should, I guess, in the grand scheme, but.
You're the Flame Bane.
Good. That saves me an introduction. All right, time for a little talk. Are you buddies with Dekana Lakmar now? Tell me, what are they after?
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to never divulge key information about our employer. What makes you think I'd talk?
That
I
might
think
have
Dehya
worked
is
as an
like
amateur,
my
but
favorite
I know you're
Sumeru
just looking to
character.
protect your
I love her
reputation.
design and I love
Think
her
about it,
voice.
though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to
Who
succeed in this
voices
line
her?
of work? Tools like, I don't know, your limbs or eyes. You've got
Oh, I've
5
been spelling her
seconds.
name wrong the whole
You might
time.
want to think twice about how
I didn't
much
think
your
the
employer's
H was
information
before the
is
Y.
worth to you.
Whoa!
Okay, Amber May is her English voice actor. Yo, shout out to the fact that she was in a Barbie movie. I feel like I have heard her voice before. Oh, she was Go's mom in Pokemon. And Pokemon Journeys. She doesn't have, like, she started doing stuff in 10. Like, her first credited role is Vindictus, the video game. She doesn't have, like, the most incredible rap sheet, but it's, you know, there's still some notable things on here. He also has 3 different credit names. Amber Lee, or Amber May, Amber Elise May, and Foxy Lee. Laura Poe, like, it's who I think it is, right? No, I think I'm thinking of someone different, but. Oh, right, Yellen. I honestly, Yellen's another character I really enjoy. Like character, voice, and physical wise. I was thinking of Laura Strahl. I think that's who I was thinking of when you said her. Because Laura Strahl, I was gonna say she does enough voices in this game. Because Laura does both Barbara and Shengyan. Shenglin, or yeah, Shengyun, the guitar player. She's the only person that can effectively say that she's an idol and a rock star.
I'm not joking around. We can do this the easy way or the painful way. 2 seconds.
I'll save you the trouble.
I don't know what you're talking about. I love using both of them. They're just situational for sure.
Crazy? He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first aid supplies. I definitely didn't expect him to go that far. Thankfully, the wound wasn't too deep, and he just passed out from the pain.
Barbara's great. My first ever like team was Sucrose, Barbara, Chongyun, and Razor.
You can get a lot of mercenaries,
And it was huge. It was a heavy freeze and
just to deny us some intel.
super conduct team.
Well, he's out cold for now. We could wait for him to wake up, but maybe it's not a good idea to interrogate him any further. What should we do?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be a waste of time to interrogate him again after that. He might just hurt himself again if we start asking. There are lots of goods around here. Let's search the area. Maybe we'll be able to find something. I'm really sorry.
Aloy? Who's Aloy? Oh, yeah. Her from... Maybe they just couldn't get in contact with it? I don't know. I don't own her, so... And she's a cryo bow user, so I don't know if I'd care to.
You found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it. Maybe it's a record of something.
Let me take a look. If this really is a merchant caravan, they should have a record of their transactions. Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti. All familiar names. Dakana Lakmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food, weapons, and medicine. It seems that in the past, they used to receive some canned knowledge as well. This caravan...
I wouldn't
is
even
just
call her
one link
budget
in
Guan
Everest's
Yu
exchange.
because she was only
Once in the
available
rainforest,
once.
the caravan
At
will
this
exchange
point,
the
she's
looted goods
basically
for
the
money,
rare Guan
and
Yu.
funds will then be passed to a specific person. That
At
person
least
will then
I've already had the
caravan to
opportunity to
save
choose
goods,
not to pull on
then
Guan
be
Yu.
brought right back to Dakana Lakmar.
I didn't even get the opportunity for Alloy.
Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction?
No value?
Yeah, every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply marked as delivered.
Yeah, the more amounts just happen to cancel each other out.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But
Well, the thing was,
how
the
much
last
would
time
make up
Guan
some
Yu
of
was
the
on
clues?
Banner,
Do
I
they
was
not
still in
care
my
about
I don't
profit
like
margins
bow
at all?
users phase.
Anyway,
And
next part
and
of the
so
record
now it
speaks
just depends
themselves.
on the bow user
A lot of
itself.
entries.
Some are good,
Everything's
some are
probably sourced from
okay,
the
some I don't really
rainforest.
like.
Huh?
And
What's wrong?
so, but I did get Kokomi. I believe Guan Yu's last attempt on Banner was with Kokomi, right?
You mean Dunyarzad's family?
That Kokomi was actually the first 5-star I got.
Could it just be another family with the same last name?
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shazaman Homayani is Dunyarzad's father, and the head of the Homayani family.
Who was your first 5-star?
What the heck is going on
Arathai?
here? I'm sorry. You're right. I'll consider what we found and not jump to conclusions
Mona?
just yet. But with this piece of
Now, was
paper
that when she was a
confirms that the
Banner
Homayani
character, or was
family
that
has been
from, like,
providing
failing a
goods to Dakana
50-50?
What
Lakmar?
if the Homayanis have been kept in the dark and don't know they've been trading with Dakan Akhmar?
That's a possibility. But if that was the case,
I remember
why
I
is
got
this
a lot
caravan
of hate
specifically
for the
named
fact of
Shazaman as the person
how
contact?
many 5-stars
They
I
could
got
just as
before I
easily
failed a
bought goods such
50-50.
as food and medicine directly from
I got
Caravan Reebok
Kokomi,
in Port Ormos.
Albedo twice, and Nahida without failing a 50-50. I did get Mona, but I got Mona on standard banner. So I got her without actually failing anything. I did not fail until the child banner. And I failed, got Tainari, and then got child 2 pulls later. Oh, wow. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, I have a lot of people that hate me. I really wish the stream yesterday went longer, because I have a great amount of fun of teasing Chloe about my Genshin pulling luck. If Shazan was actually aware of this, then perhaps he's been supplying the brigade operations this entire time.
Funding violence and looting. The brigade gets the goods, and he
Hey,
gets the
Neko!
proceeds from the sale of the loot.
Or Choco, however I flip-flop your name
Not like the homies
today.
are in need of money.
How you doing?
I honestly have
You
no idea.
at work right now, right?
I've been to their estate
How's the
many
day been?
times, and I've never noticed anything suspicious. The only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment costs for Dunyarzad's Elazar. Maybe they borrowed a lot of Mora in the past, but that's still just a speculation. I don't think the master would stoop so low to make Mora.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate it. My, yeah, like, the only standard banner character I'm missing is Chi-Chi, and the only one I've double pulled is Mona, and I don't even know if I count Mona, because I only failed a 50-50 for Mona once. The first Mona I got off standard banner, so I don't even know if I can necessarily even count that.
You're probably right. I know my lady's personality, and she wouldn't deliberately keep...
Like, I can't believe...
What should we
Like,
do
not
now?
counting
All we
Dehya.
found is
Not
this
counting
mystery.
Dehya. Yeah. Not counting Dehya. I pulled every standard banner except Chi-Chi before getting a duplicate of any of them. Like, I consider that astounding luck when you consider the odds that factor into that. I don't even care about constellations. I just want to pull the characters.
I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. I still have faith in the Homayanis. Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her everything and see if she's willing to lend us her support. If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery of this paper, but also follow the trail of breadcrumbs to the people responsible at Dekhan al-Akmar.
Dehya, are you sure this is the best decision? What if instead of getting the help we need, we just end up revealing everything we've discovered to the enemy?
I've considered that possibility, but even still, I want to tell her what we found. I think I owe her that much. True friendship is built on trust. She showed genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her kindness with doubt and suspicion. That's not how I deal with people.
You're right. Paimon wants to trust Dunyarzad too.
Yeah. Let's pay another visit to Sumeru City.
Man, what a twist it would be if Dunyarzad was actually like a huge villain. Every story event prior to this, she was just the nicest, and now and then boom, villain drop. And then she becomes like a worse boss than then she becomes like stronger than Scaramouche's failed god form and destroys half of Sumeru City and
We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected. You mustn't have run into any trouble then. Well, how did it go? What did you come up with?
Actually, we are still investigating. It's just that we've discovered something strange.
I see. The clues you found have led you back here, in the city?
Something like that. Yeah.
you know what I really want them to
Oh,
do,
they're
Arathai?
Dispirited.
I've always
Sounds
commented on
like
this
something
idea
very
that
encouraging after all.
when
Why don't you discuss it with me.
that all these characters, like when you see Dehya, you know she's going to be playable,
It's okay, my lady.
right? Like this
It's not so
concept
much
of the
about me
character,
being
the playable
accepted,
characters
bothered
stand
or
out
anything
so
like that.
much. I would love for them to feature a character like Dunyarzad, who appears frequently in cutscenes as seemingly a plain NPC,
On any other day,
and then
Paimon would have
boom,
always
gets a vision,
smile and shouted,
and then
"Dunyarzad!"
changes their style into what the playable character model would be. Just like fake out and surprise the players. I think that would be such a fun like reveal.
It concerns the master.
The master.
But I don't know if that would actually happen or not, because
Okay.
even then
I
still,
understand.
Genshin leaks would
I'll
probably
listen as
ruin the
attentively as I
surprise.
can. My father.
This game is
has been
terrible.
supplying goods to Dakan
This game is
al-Akbar.
terrible with leaks.
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us as it does to you. I've never doubted the master's integrity, so I'm having a real hard time rationalizing how he could ever support an infamous brigade like them. Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story and just stumbled into the deal by accident.
That feels unlikely, though.
I can't help but agree with the traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyarzad?
Thank you for sharing all this information with me. Since you've told me everything you know, I should also tell you about some doubts that I've been harboring for quite a while. In the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so that I wouldn't run away and get lost. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30. Why did my father go out of his way to hire Dehya?
About that. Well, the Homayanis really needed bodyguards, so they reached out to the Blazing Beasts. Later, the master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen, and that I should stick around to become one of his bodyguards. He offered me a pile of mora, so I just signed on.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question. Just think about it. Why did my father specifically reach out to the Blazing Beasts?
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or maybe someone recommended us. I've never given it too much thought. I think I get what you're saying. You think none of this was a coincidence.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seems strange or out of place. But there are many parts of the story that don't actually make any sense. If my father had always been in contact with Dakan al-Akbar, then it would make sense for him to bring Dehya into our house.
You mean the goal all along was to get Dehya to be your bodyguard?
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has no control over my life anymore.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life without you knowing.
And that is very true.
So, the master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
That's what things are looking like at this point.
All this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzad.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you. Regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been funding a violent group of mercenaries, then it's my duty to bring him back to reason.
But is that really the right thing to do? My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he has coming to him. I have zero sympathy for him. You may call me an ungrateful child, but my feelings will remain the same. However, the Homayani family has treated me with nothing but generosity and kindness. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire Homayani family. I would be biting the hand that's fed me over all these years.
Dehya.
It's alright, Dehya. If anyone were to ask, you could always just say that I'm the one who instructed you to get to the bottom of this.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm afraid of taking responsibility. Besides, you're the one we should all be worried about right now.
Hey, it's still too early to give up hope. What was that thing about friendship again?
True friendship is built on trust.
Yeah, trust. all the facts.
Your trust hasn't been misplaced, then he probably has many conflicting feelings as well.
Thank you, everyone. That makes a lot of sense. I guess I should always remember the trust that I've placed in people. In which case, my lady, could you ask the master to come out and have a chat with us?
Sure thing. I also hope he'll be able to give us a logical explanation. Let's meet at the usual place then.
Usual place?
The
Oh,
bench?
right.
It's the bench! The bench makes a return! Oh my god, I'm gonna be so happy. Do you think maybe the bench got freshly painted?
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce these two. This is the Traveler, and next to him is his travel companion, Paimon.
Ah, yes, my daughter has mentioned them from time to time. It's a privilege to finally meet them in person. But we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the important matter you wish to discuss with me today?
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention. There's something on this record that we're all pretty curious about.
So, that's what you found. Huh. Seems like I can't keep everything from you much longer.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like an explanation.
Well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. What I do know, though, Dehya, is that the truth will bring you no solace. If anything, it will likely cause you a great amount of anguish.
Wait, me?
Yes, I understand perfectly why you came to see me. And I am touched by your collective commitment to do the right thing. But knowledge always comes at a price. And sometimes, as they say, ignorance is bliss. Your father, Kusela, and I both believed that. Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth, but I must warn you. The facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself into sand, blowing in the wind. If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt efforts will also fade into the wind like a fleeting mirage.
His heartfelt efforts? I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure I follow. I've made it this far in life without a single drop of my father's support. I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people and causes that I've chosen to cherish and fight for. None of these things have anything to do with him. I came here today to support you as the head of the Homiyani family. No warning will change my stance on that.
I understand. Then let me tell you a little story. Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just a baby. Along the way, we were attacked by bandits. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. When all seemed lost, a group of passerby Eremites lent us their support. Those Eremites were Kusela's brigade, Dekhan al-Ahmar. Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Why would Dekhan al-Ahmar go so far to save us and not spare the fellow Eremites? Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyarzad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Really? I never knew.
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on us because he had a daughter about the same age. We started talking about our children, and I sensed that he was a devoted father. To repay his kindness, I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time and offered everyone generous remuneration.
So, that's what happened.
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced to a shell of himself. He couldn't even walk anymore without his cane.
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He said there was absolutely nothing to worry about and that he had gotten into a fight. That was all. He then suddenly asked me if Dunyarzad, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard of her own. At the time, Dunyarzad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar. There was no need for her to have a bodyguard when she could barely leave the house. But he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. How do you know a bodyguard won't come in handy one day? I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts, and in particular, a mercenary named Dehya.
So he was the one who recommended Dehya to you.
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would eventually corrupt every member in their ranks. He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detach his daughter from the vicious world of mercenary life. If Dehya could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then gradually her affinity for the desert would decrease, and she'd be able to leave her previous life behind.
And that's why you offered her such generous compensation?
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he asked me for that favor, I also began to see Dehya as my own daughter. And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. I was willing to spend however much it took. Kusela saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter to me.
He was always like that, acting like he's oh so smart and self-righteous.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dehya's fees. I refused to take any mora from him, but he'd always send me funds anyway. Eventually, I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. And that went on for a while until I received another letter from him a few years ago. The letter contained a request to help him buy food, weapons, medicine, and even explosive materials.
Wait, isn't that around the time that the Khan al-Ahmar started becoming more aggressive?
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, I became wary. I wanted to meet him face to face to discuss things. But by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to guess, it's probably because he doesn't want to put Dehya at risk.
But by that same token, he should have also stopped asking you for materials.
That thought occurred to me as well. I figured that he probably came to me for help because he had nobody else to turn to. After some deliberation, I decided to send him some food and medicine. I turned down all his requests for explosives and weaponry. I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm, but I could not simply reject his plea for help. In the end,
I think he's being used.
probably was the wrong decision. I plugged my ears to the rumors and just chose
Like
a
someone's
solution that
pretending to be him to try and
feel
exploit this
least
guy for money.
guilty
Like someone found
about
out the
myself.
connection here.
If you can, please tell me where he is now. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if he's just trying to keep me from getting tangled up in his world. If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then maybe he shouldn't have brought me into this world in the first place.
Oh no. Dehya, please don't feel that way.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions.
Maybe there's another way of looking at all of this.
Another way? I don't know. I knew him, and he was nothing more than a childish brute. I can't understand what's going through his head. But I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth yet. We still need to figure out his exact actions and reasoning for these last few years.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything between the two of you would need to be resolved between you and him alone. I don't know Kusela's
You know what I
exact
should check after
whereabouts.
this?
Outside of
Next moment I
supplying
get
his
to control my
brigade with
character, I'm
goods,
gonna check for
I
single
tried my
banners
best to
or
avoid
standard
getting
banner
involved any
pulls.
further with him. However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He used to be a mercenary in the desert and is now a member of the Corps of 30. He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Dakan al-Akhmar's merchant caravan. I think he should know Kusela's whereabouts. I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool wind at night outside the tavern. Maybe you'll be able to find him there.
Understood. Thank you, sir. Then I guess this is bye for now, unless...
I'll stay and be with my father here. To be honest, I'm still a little dazed and haven't finished processing everything quite yet. My father has indeed done something wrong, but if I think about it, I'm also not sure if there was a right way to handle this problem. I feel like our only course of action is to turn everything we know over to the Corps of 30 and let them render judgment.
Yes. I am prepared to accept whatever verdict they choose. It's time to face my mistakes.
Alright, let me just double check standard banner. I got one pull. Let's go. And it's a 3-star weapon! Slingshot? No. Black Tassel.
There's something in the air. Something tells me.
Yeah, hopefully I can pull enough to get this last one here. Oops.
My intuition tells me that something very interesting is about to happen.
Huh? Who are you guys?
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violent brigades in the desert while working for the Corps? Pretty bold, if you ask me.
Shh. Keep your voice down. How do you know all that? Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. I'll be happy to talk things over once we're somewhere private. This place should do. Alright, back to my question. How did you all know about me?
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps, I assume.
Wait, there's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out. What are your terms?
So what's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good care of me in the past. I weighed it in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could also make some quick mora.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Dekhan al-Akmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of your punishment.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first? Listen, I made quite a bit of mora from my last run. You just give me a number, and I'm sure we can...
Shut it. My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is after something other than money.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some nice words for me later. They're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the last time I made my delivery to the desert. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you though, it's not on me if they're not there anymore.
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Hey, come on. Now you're just being unreasonable.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one with no bargaining chips.
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not there anymore, I'll try to figure out something else for y'all.
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city.
Wait, where am I going? All the way over here?
Seems like we're in luck. That should be their camp right up ahead. Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves. I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Dehya, why are you here?
We'll see about that. Allow me.
Suck it!
Where do you think you're going? Bring it on!
What judge?
Look alive! Hi! Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
This is not gonna go well for you. Oh my god. The punch obliterated him. Oh my god.
Dare to mess with me. Allow me.
11,000 damage.
So strong.
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far. Just bring Kusela to me. There's no use hiding him anymore. Did you understand a single word I
died?
said? Or do I need to bash your skull in some more?
All right, everyone, let's all just calm down for a second. Dehya, the boss can't come out and see you anymore. He died a long time ago.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least, that's what the old man wanted.
When did he die? What happened to him?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dekhan al-Akmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by himself.
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's relics must pay in blood for what they did.
So that's why they turned on each other. It was all motivated by revenge.
Let me start from the beginning. Dehya, do you know how the head of the relics maintained order internally?
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable authority?
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. They called it a person's record. Regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced, every person in Deshret's relics were forced to leave a record of themselves at headquarters. Whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit, the record served both as a symbol of loyalty and the perfect material for blackmail.
You mean Kusela thought there was no escaping
That's
the records?
precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, Bashar, Tikriti, and all the boys who grew up with Dehya and ended up joining our ranks. But you, Dehya, you were never asked to provide a record, were you?
I never even knew this was a requirement.
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret's relics who didn't know about it.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization's sinister rules. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious acts. He said he'd take care of the dues we had to pay regularly to headquarters. But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete records. He'd come up with all kinds of excuses and get beaten up as a result.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of this world, no matter what it took.
And that's why he became a shell of himself and couldn't walk without a cane.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this, and I'd never seen him get injured or beaten.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds from battle? When you left home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight. Even his hair went gray.
So, even the blazing beasts were...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced to a pulp before you ever left the desert.
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said there was no longer any need, since the Khan al-Ahmar would soon be no more. His words made no sense to me, but that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and razed everyone's records to ash.
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but from the other brigades as well. But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew exactly what had happened.
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the sole purpose of the Khan al-Ahmar became revenge. The big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to headquarters' strength. It's given us the opportunity to launch our attack. Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the very end.
But Deshret's relics haven't been the only victims of
There
your
were
revenge.
people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, and others escaped to the rainforest. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, we need an enormous amount of supplies, from food and medicine to weaponry and explosives. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. Thankfully, many people were willing to come to our aid. We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. We've endured unspeakable pain to win many impossible battles. Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and now we finally have an opportunity to directly strike their headquarters.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
This is a really twisted story, like, kind of like flipped on its head. Wanting to violence with more violence will only cause more pain. Do you have any idea the amount of damage you've done?
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. We do not deserve the freedom that the boss won for us with his life. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. Those tales about sacrificing yourself to save the world. We used to always laugh at him for it. But in the end, he really went and lived those stories out himself. As for me, I never considered myself a hero. We're all the lowest of the low. We have no right to even imagine such an existence. But maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. The spirit of the hero touched all those he had saved, and more people joined his cause. Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. But as we acted the parts and recited the lines, we were drawn in. And now, we want to see the story through to the end. I'm sorry, Dehya. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young. Just think of this as a madman ranting.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dehya? You wanna go with them?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's just that some situations get so bad that it's difficult to tell good from evil. All I know is that Deshret's relics must be destroyed. Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I want to know if my father is still there. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
I'm on your side, Dehya. No, I made a promise to promise that Dunyazar to support you.
Paimon feels like we'd only regret it if we don't see this through to the end.
Thank you. We'll be a lot stronger together with you.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you'd join us at the very last moment like this.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained, we can't afford to turn down someone as powerful as you.
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this much.
Alrighty. I guess I'll go here. Hey, Chloe! Chloe, you'll never guess what. I had a single standard banner pull, and I pulled it. Guess what I got? What do you think I'm some kind of god? I got a 3-star weapon. I got like another black tassel. I don't know where your head went off to. So I have odd opinions about the next banners. Yeah, I wanted to tease you on that. But yeah, the next banners. So both 5 stars are cryo. So the next 2 5 stars are cryo. And the 4 stars, so you got Mika, who's cryo, Sucrose, who's animo, and Diona, who's cryo. So 4 out of the 5 possible characters to go for are cryo. And 2 out of the 3 4 stars are cryo healers.
Doing Detective work means you
The
gotta
next
walk
banners are an
No, I'm
interesting
literally
pick from
search
Miyoyo.
high and low for evidence.
You know what? This just reminded me. So you know you guys like say I have like incredible Genshin luck. I just realized this isn't the first game I've had random good luck. Randomized good luck. Guild Wars 2. I just kind of realized. So to understand this, in Guild Wars 2, there are legendary weapons. Legendaries are like the top tier. Anything any other type of weapon does, legendary can do all of it in one weapon. It is designed to be best in slot, no matter what, 100%. And if they add in a new feature, the legendary weapons get it. It is just the nature of what those weapons are. However, to get a legendary weapon, you first have to get the precursor for it. It's basically a weapon
My intuition tells me
that has to be fused with some materials to unlock the to get the weapon. Precursors can be gotten 3 different ways. Number 1 is they added in these like quest lines where at the end of the quest line you get the ability to craft the precursor. Second is just by random loot chance, like you just open a chest and or fight a boss and boom, there it is. You know, it's always that chance. However, there's a third option, and not many people necessarily use it. The Mystic Forge, also known within the Guild Wars 2 community as the Mystic Toilet. Basically, you put in 4 things. Now, it has various recipes, and they do different things depending on what you put in. Think of it kind of like an alchemy pot, where like an alchemy fountain, where it's like you put in 4 things and it makes something else. So what I would do is I would put in, so there's different ranges of gear, right? So you got like common, rare, legendary, unique, ascended, you know, all that stuff. So exotic is the second highest weapon slot. It's orange. It's exotic, ascended, legendary. Precursors are also exotic. So what you can do is put in 4 exotic weapons into the Mystic Forge, and it will literally just throw at you another exotic. The exotic now gets weighed. Like if I put in 4 swords, I'm going to get an exotic sword. That's how it works. And I would literally just do this. And if I got something back, I got an exotic back, I would just keep it. Because I pretty much had all these skins. And I actually got like 2 precursors from the Mystic Forge. And I knew people that were playing that game for like years longer than me and never got anything. And I think, no, I got 3. I got 2 precursors for a legendary greatsword and a precursor for the staff. And then I sold one of the greatswords because I already had it. And then bought the torch precursor, which was way cheaper. I made a profit on that. But yeah, I just kind of hit me now that I've had really good, effectively gotcha luck before. Alright, so I need Dendro, Electro, and Pyro. Okay, well, I'll run this one because Dehya's going to get thrown on the team here anyways, so...
Wow. Paimon didn't expect it to look like this on the inside.
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up all of them.
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got 1 shot left, it could still take us out.
I fought through many situations like this before.
We'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before, but their name means nothing now.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you.
But at the very least, you know.
I'll take the lead.
You know what's another thing I realized earlier, Chloe? That, once again, this is going to kind of signify my good luck. But you want to know what it is? Something I realized earlier in the stream.
You are not welcome here.
Let's get it on! Ha!
Cascade.
So first things first, this isn't necessarily the point I'm making here, but so the first 5-star I got was Kokomi, right? Second I got was Albedo, and then the third I got was Albedo on literally the next pull. Then the fourth I got was Nahida. So those pulls I never lost on the 50-50. I actually did not lose on the 50-50 until Child, which you were there to witness. So I have, ever since, I have failed on the 50-50 5 times. And in those 5 times, I have gotten 5 different characters. I got, the first was Tainari, then Catching, then it was Jean, then D-Luke, and then Mona. Chi-Chi's the only one I don't have. However, I do have C1 Mona. But I realized that my actual original Mona pull was on Standard Banner. So effectively, I have actually never gained a repeat character on failing a 50-50.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
While having C1 Mona, one of them was from Standard Banner. So I've never actually ever I've never gotten repeats on failed 50-50s.
There could still be another way through. Let's go. We can't let them.
And that's like a different level of luck.
Another way. The sooner we can make it through to help them, the better.
Because I have to fail a coin flip, and then it was a 1 in 6 chance for me to get any of those characters. The fact that I got a different one every single time.
Let's try our luck with that mechanism.
Okay, let's go.
Does that quantify like rage-induced? Alright, gotta go through all this. This is the second time this has happened. Hey, Shadow! Shadow, can you believe this?
faces when I informed them of my plans today. Panic-stricken, but
I had one single pull on Standard Banner.
yes.
Chloe shows up, and I ask her, what does she think I got? Like, you'll never guess what I got. And she's here thinking I pulled a 5-star. Can you believe her? Of course I got a 3-star weapon. What else was I supposed to get? Sometimes I don't know where Chloe's mind is going, Shadow.
This way hurt a little. Stand with me.
But I was talking with Chloe about about a revelation I just came up to, which is I have, oh my god. One second. There we go. I feel like I'm actually being targeted now. Three back to back. Like I'm trying to clear up my chat.
I'm sure I've forgotten something. Not to worry, I'll simply send someone to fetch it. As soon as I remember what it was.
But anyways, so what I was saying, Shadow, is we kind of came to this revelation here that so while I do have C1 Mona, I came to the revelation that since one of my Monas was pulled on standard, it kind of almost, you know, I kind of separate that for a second and realize I have only failed a 50-50 5 times, and I've gotten a different character every time. I got Tainari, then Ketching, then Jean, then Diluc, and then Mona.
Everything's in place and they've taken the bait. Yes. Now to start reeling them in.
Yeah.
I have
Feel
to
free to
stifle a
help me
smile
with
every
reporting
time I
them for
remember
hate
the look
speech.
on my retainers' faces when I informed them of my plans today. Panic-stricken, but unable to muster the courage to say anything in opposition. Yes, this was a fine idea.
crazy that, like, why even pick me? Like, what is this, like, what do I,
Everything's in place and they've taken the bait. Yes.
I have,
Now
like,
to
2
start
viewers
reeling
right
them
now.
in.
Like, what am I in the grand scheme of spreading your racist message?
Ah. I have to stifle a smile every time I remember the look on my retainers' faces when I informed them of my plans today. Panic-stricken, but unable to muster the courage to say anything in opposition. Yes, this was a fine idea. Ah.
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
Lower this one. I have to go around or something? Like, there's... I guess maybe that was just to unlock the middle?
Cascade.
Everything's in place and they've taken the bait. Yes. Now to start reeling them in. I have to stifle a smile every time I remember the look on my retainers' faces when I informed them of my plans today. Panic-stricken, but unable to muster the courage to say anything in opposition. Yes, this was a fine idea. Ah. I'm sure I've forgotten something. Not to worry, I'll simply send someone to fetch it. As soon as I remember what it was.
Sorry, guys. Just decided to remove the chat.
I have to stifle a smile every time I remember the look on my retainers' faces when I informed them of my plans today. Panic-stricken, but unable to muster the courage to say anything in opposition. Yes, this was a fine idea.
So I'm gonna keep streaming though, don't worry.
Everyone hold hands. Our bond is strong. You asked for it.
Apologize, Shadow, Chloe, if you guys are still here, that I had to do that, but didn't really have a choice. Oh my god, come on. Moment I did it, gone. I watched the view count drop.
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through from the other side. But as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our folks defying all expectations.
Don't waste your breath. You have nowhere to run.
Run? Had I wanted to run, I would have fled 1,000 times already. I witnessed the golden age of Deshret's relics. Even if I could leave this place behind, all that awaits me now are endless days of humiliation and ruin. Even now, my brothers and I still believe in one thing. The greatest should never live to remember their fall.
So you want to go out in a blaze of glory?
Let us draw our weapons! We will show them the true power King Deshret bestowed upon his followers. They are but two, while we hold within ourselves the
Oops. I did not mean to skip that, sorry.
Charge! Eliminate them!
Dissipate!
Where do you think you're escaping?
Don't think that we're just getting started.
Be still.
King Deshret will not abandon any one of his followers.
Suyu!
Pry this off your side. The bond is strong. I'll settle this.
Brothers! This is where we prove our fate.
You all just want to die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive!
The commander has finally fallen.
But they're still coming at us. This place is like a gladiator's ring. They just keep coming no matter how many we beat.
Yes, keep fighting! There's no need to fear, and no need to back down! This is our last stand!
When the next wave comes, try to draw away their attacks. I'm going to see if I can take out that high platform.
Get out of my way!
Come and face me, Mitchell! So they've broken through the front as well.
Apologies, Lord Michal. They fight like absolute madmen. No matter how much we throw at them, they just keep coming for more.
So, it would seem like this is the end.
Time to pay for everything you've done, Mitchell.
You think I would give you that opportunity? I will be buried in the sand, alongside all the rest of our fading glory.
Hey, wait!
We were too late.
It's over. There's no more need to fight. But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called mercenary's pride, then I'll give you all a good beating as well.
Hey, Dehya! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Let's go.
It's really sad, though, that, someone has to feel so pathetic with their own life that that's really how they have to spend their time. Like, to think, like, I don't know how the botting tool works, or what it's capable of, or, like, if you have to program it, or just you buy it, but, like, there's so much more productive things you could do with your time.
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you always pestering us?
You call yourself a member of the infamous Deshret's relics and you still can't even tell who's made it all the way to your headquarters?
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? We try to catch a couple, and you all just show up on the other side instead. How are we supposed to figure out what you're after? Hey, have you ever heard of a man by the name of Kusela? Why would I know? It's not like I'm in charge or anything.
This is your last chance to talk.
Hey, I said I don't know anything. I'm just an average member here. I'm telling the truth. If you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves? Who can remember every name and face with so many people coming in and out every day?
The irony. His life became a light for so many, yet to others, it wasn't even worth remembering. Where's the records room? Answer me!
It's right over there. All the files are in there. You can go through them as much as you want. It's not like any of them still matter anyway.
I mean the old records room.
The old records room? You mean, the one that got burned down? Kusela. Ah, yeah, I remember him now. The guy who could hardly walk. Watch your mouth. That's our boss you're talking about. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw him come hobbling in. But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he'd already gotten away and started a fire in the records room. He couldn't have possibly outrun us if he wasn't a fraud. And after that, Deshret's relics fell into complete disarray.
Stop wasting our time. Every one of us here is perfectly aware of what he had done. Tell me, where is the old records room?
It's just over there. Go see it for yourself if it means that much to you. There's nothing left in there but ashes. No human could ever survive that kind of inferno. Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave the others here to guard these guys. Spare them no mercy if they try anything.
Something on your mind again? Let's work through it together. Two heads are better than one.
Check out that video later. Once again, I do apologize for the chat having to be disabled. I'm probably going to straight up disable it once the video ends too. So there won't be no, like, obviously the chat appears on screen though, but see what I can do about that. I'm gonna end the stream once I'm done Dehya's storyline quest anyways. I'm coming to the end, I assume.
So, this was his final destination. How did he do it? Getting past all the guards with a limp and sneaking in here to start a fire? If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must have been able to get out of here after starting the fire, right?
Dehya.
I'm sorry. I know it's just wishful thinking. Let's look around. Maybe we can find something that's been left behind.
Is this a cane? It must be the one that Dehya's father used.
Kusela.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that fire.
Let's split up and look around some more. What if something else has been left behind?
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Huh? Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dehya has slain it. Its head now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all. Dehya, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
But Dehya, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad. What's this?
Oh, that didn't help.
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to wake up tomorrow with loads of money. And Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. You looked super confused at the time, but said it was an adorable thing to say. These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash course on Paimon's life philosophy.
She rarely spends her allowance on other people. It's really my treat, but you get the point.
Hey, this way you get something from the both of us for the price of one. Anyway, the point is that you should eat to your heart's content. You'll feel better for sure once you've gotten something in your tummy. Dunyarzad will also be here shortly. She's already heard that we're back.
Aw, thanks, you two. Honestly, this is very unlike me. I just had a lot on my mind on our way back, so I didn't know what to say. My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. They just shook me even more than all the feelings we've shared during our previous adventures. But when everything came to an end, those emotions also vanished without a trace, and I was left feeling more empty than ever before. It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me.
Sorry, I'm trying to do something really quick here. Sorry about that. All right, back to the stream.
Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. But perhaps to us, it's the most worthless thing of all. Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. But when it came to avenging my father, there was no Mora to be made anywhere. My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. But look at me now. Am I any different? Despite all my promises about never forgiving him and never trying to understand him, I still went to such lengths to find out the truth, and nearly even shed tears for his sake. We're hypocrites, all of us. Yeah, you're right.
You're back! Are all of you alright?
Ah, there she is.
Yeah. Many people from the Corps of 30 came over, and I just wrapped up everything with my dad. All I can do now is wait for their verdict. Huh? Dehya, You're looking quite down again.
Paimon will explain. A lot happened while we were gone.
I'm sorry. I really should have controlled my emotions better. I just...
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well. Truth be told, I'm starting to feel a little guilty watching you cry like this.
But Dehya, your pain must be even worse. You shouldn't need to comfort me.
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, this whole thing has finally shown me the difference between illusion and reality. My father probably thought that people could settle into new lives as long as they moved to a new environment. That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. It's like saying, what's wrong with adapting to a new life? However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept it. This impulse brought me great turmoil, and even made me feel ashamed for turning my back on your father's kindness. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert sands are a part of who I am, and I will never be able to lead a peaceful existence.
I understand how you feel.
Thing is, I
That
can
doesn't
block
mean
all
I
this.
won't be making any changes to my life, though. As an example,
Sorry, mumbling to
I'm
myself.
now thinking about taking on some small odd jobs. It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a character in his play. Even if the ending of the story may be childish and ridiculous, it won't really matter.
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary, one that's not out for Mora. Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we finish eating? What about stopping by the Grand Bazaar again?
Right. You said you wanted to get a rug for your family.
We'll come along too.
I can't thank you enough for taking care of me this entire time.
Go to the Grand Bazaar.
Oh, this rug here is quite something. The craftsmanship is exquisite, and the fabric is also of high quality.
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Hey! Aren't you that mercenary who bit his tongue? You can still talk? Wait, are you here to take revenge on us?
What are you talking about? Do I look like I could take you all in a fight? I just came here to give you something. I'll be on my way to give myself up to the Corps after this. Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Ahmar's camp, hoping to alert them to your presence. But when I got there, I found no one except the members who were still too injured to move.
Ah, so you probably got there after us.
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves in to the authorities. Even that last camp was not going to last for much longer. I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, I might as well do the same. One of the injured members gave this box to me, and told me that it contained some of the old man's last possessions. Everything left in the camp will get confiscated, so I figured I should get this to you before the Corps could get their hands on it.
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone for it.
So this box contains everything that Dehya's father left behind. Huh. It feels lighter than expected.
Well, back in the day, the first thing he did with any Mora was spend it on things like drinks and meat. But let's see what's inside. What's this? It's just a bunch of junk. Ugh, it kinda stinks.
Perhaps it's just been left unopened for too long.
A handwritten copy of a storybook. The paper's already yellowed, and it looks like it's about to fall apart. It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule, he could have at least copied something useful.
That probably means this was really important to him.
And here are a few bags of children's snacks. The packaging's completely deteriorated. Maybe that's where the smell was coming from.
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of these kinds of snacks. He'd always say that he got them for me, but in the end, he always ate more than I ever did. Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Isn't that just common sense? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, some round iron tiles, a wooden toy puppet, a wool scarf, which from the looks of it probably belonged to a woman, and a hair clip? Why are these things here?
I'm suddenly feeling a little scared.
I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. He probably saw this box as some kind of personal trash heap and dumped any and everything in there. 2 empty liquor bottles. Tell me, you guys, are these the kinds of things that a normal person would leave behind?
Heck. All right.
Huh? There's something in the bottle!
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't smudge. I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just folded it up and left it in the bottle, though. If I end up forgetting about it, it won't really matter. To Dehya. It's a letter for me?
You need
It's
to read it
all
out
right.
loud.
I'll just read it out. If he went to the trouble of writing a letter, there must have been some important things that he wanted to say. Or at least record down.
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and have fun. Guess I don't have many days left. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose I'm already long gone. You were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or laughing, everyone enjoyed having you in the group. But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute. It's probably Idrisi's fault. He was never up to any good.
Can you believe this guy? He can point the finger at himself.
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad for me, even if you end up finding out the truth. The reason being that I was never your father to begin with.
Wait, what?
Surely,
I don't know.
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 times cooler than some so-called flame main. Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. With just a teeny tiny bit of effort, I felt I could rule over the entire desert. But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day and discovered a baby in the sands. You were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind blew for just a little while longer, you would have been buried forever. But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, you...
Sounds like he's serious.
I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really had no other choice. I was their most esteemed leader, after all. It's not like I could just tell them that I suddenly wanted to play at being a father. At this rate, I'll puke up all the liquor I just drank from this bottle. Anyway, Dehya, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
That's the end of the letter. In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child. I suppose, or I would have suffocated under the sand a long time ago.
he was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't a blood relative doesn't change that.
Yeah. It's just a pity that we had to learn the truth of everything like this.
Do you already have some ideas about the decision that he wanted you to make?
I do. If he first found me alone in the sands, then I want to try my hand at finding the person who abandoned me. I just have one wish. To tell them a story. That there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold. And that only under his care was I able to grow and mature into the person I am today.
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We go on adventures all the time. Maybe we'll be able to find some information for you.
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
I don't want to see his efforts go to waste.
I'll help too.
Thank you. All of you. Thank you so much. My life has certainly had its twists and turns, but I've always considered myself lucky. Because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.
Alright, so that's that then. So that's all the story missions now. So I'm gonna end the stream right here. I got some things I need to do. So yeah, so thanks for joining. I'm sorry everything got bummed out and I had to disable chat. Wasn't my intention, but I was relatively left with no choice. But at least, you know, you can do that. On Twitch, I don't even think you can disable chat. Which is why it was such a problem for Twitch. But I hope they're, you know, I hope I can find a tool or something that can help. But either way, stream's done. I'm going to be streaming again tomorrow. Tomorrow is Golden Sun Lost Age, if I recall correctly. Let me check. I have to make a thumbnail for that, if that's the case. Yes, it is. Golden Sun Lost Age. Yeah, I gotta make a thumbnail for that. I haven't made thumbnails yet. I prepped them, though, because I mentioned before that I was logging into the game to enter the code, so you didn't have to see me. Code took a lot shorter to enter than I thought it would. I had to use the name cheat thing prior, so and to set up the save state, I had to skip past the main characters of Lost Age, which are basically the quote your enemies of Golden Sun. So basically Felix, Jenna, and Sheba, or as I named them, Daimien, Twig, and Molotov. And then also the water user that is a part of their team that was actually not in Golden Sun 1. Yeah, so it'll be Golden Sun Lost Age tomorrow. I can't speak for what's going to happen with the chat. I can try and have it running, but if this happens again, I'll have to quickly disable it. With that said, my name is Daimien Kamiya. I am the Omni King, and be a friend, foe, or a member of the Omni Council. I'm going to see you later. Goodbye, everyone.